let's talk about the boar. For those of you who don't know, that is the reference for Finn Mikaelson. That is how he's referred to by essentially the entire family as the boar, the boring one, the one that was better left in a box for literally his entire life, or essentially his entire life. I liked Finn in the originals when he was being played by the actor who plays Vincent. I thought that was very cool. I really liked the dynamic that they brought to that show, the whole idea of him always being the forgotten one, of him not even really holding the eldest brother role, in that Elijah kind of filled that role while kind of excluding Finn essentially from the rest of the family by keeping him in the box. That being said, let's get into the video.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
You mean you don't recognize me?
So much for the unbroken bonds of family.
Finn.
Brothers Cole and Finn, may they rest in peace.
Always and forever indeed. It's been a long time.
He's so good. He's so good in this role.
Yes, Mother.
Don't you?
Finn.
Finn.
Thank you, Finn.
Why do our family remain in these coffins? Finn for over 900 years. Cold.
900 years, man.
That's why you kept me daggered in a box for so long. You were daggered.
Because you were boring.
Sycophant. Did mother bring you back from the dead?
What is a sycophant?
Wash her knickers.
She raised me because I was treated unfairly.
Not really. All you really wanted to do was die, honestly.
Out of all but the smallest portion of my life, Elijah, I can understand such cruelty coming from him.
Where our mother cares nothing for you.
But you?
Assure you, my mother loves me. But I always thought of you as being compassionate. What did I do to deserve you turning your back on me?
That is true. I really don't understand why Elijah allowed Klaus to dagger Finn, because I presume that he was the first to actually be daggered. So what did Finn actually do to be daggered the first time? I don't remember if they actually showed us within the originals. I mean, they might have. I just don't remember. And I feel like it would probably have been something pretty trivial knowing Klaus, and that just kind of sucks to be Finn, because he probably got completely blindsided there, because that was probably the first time anyone had daggered them in, like, ever since the Brotherhood of the Five, right? Because the Brotherhood of the Five must have came about in the 1st century that they were vampires, and from there Klaus had the daggers and he used it for Finn. I don't know, it's very interesting. Like, why would Elijah have allowed that? Unless perhaps he thought that Finn was doing something that would get them caught by Michael, then I could potentially understand his reservation or allowance of Klaus actually doing this. But beyond that, I don't really see a scenario in which Elijah wouldn't have been furious with Klaus for doing this.
Yet I was the one considered too dangerous to undagger.
He stored us in boxes.
At least he's not trying to make us extinct.
Like father, you've always despised our supernatural.
I mean, that is true. Like, Finn tried to have them all killed, but that was only in the last few decades. There were 900 years before that.
Poison it!
Brother I knew would never have stooped to threaten a child.
My mother's released me from an eternity of shame.
Our mother destroyed him.
Facts.
Very survival, Finn. Just as you have every time we've made the mistake of freeing you from that box.
I was made that way because of that box.
How pathetic you are, Finn. You always were pathetic. Every time I close my eyes,
Don't leave me alone.
I'll go back to that black horizon.
Yeah, that is horrifying, honestly.
And forgotten
He's just alone.
by my own family.
So yeah,
He probably hates all of them.
It was an embarrassment, Rebecca.
He was still your brother, mind your tongue.
Finn has tried to kill the rest of us more than once.
That we're here.
He's an enemy of our family.
No matter,
Eh.
Finn. He is our family.
We are here.
I love you.
No one hurts my family who lives.
If we divide... No, brother.
We stick together as one.
Today,
Oh, right, he did suggest dividing earlier on, right?
Always.
no one.
I mean, Cole and Finn were both okay with, like, just leaving each other, right? Being like, all right, we're gonna go off in our own direction and do our own thing, because essentially we're all stuck running if we all stick together as one cluster, and it just doesn't seem like a good idea. Also, would Michael care if, like, Finn or Cole just went their own way? I don't think so, because he's really just chasing after Klaus. So I'm not sure.
Niklas is right. We made a vow.
We made a vow, but he wasn't there for the vow.
Forever.
return is an opportunity to mend old wounds and fix what's broken.
Yeah, but he's gonna die. Or did Finn kill himself at the end as well? Because I know that he was trying to die. Like, he grabbed the piece of white oak from the flame because he didn't want to be trapped for eternity. I'm not sure. I really like Finn as a character in the way that he's used in the originals. In TVD, it was more like he was just working with the mom, and we didn't really get much of a backstory there for him. I really like what they did with the character in the originals because they made him a lot more interesting. They added a lot more backstory, and I don't know, it was just a lot more fun. And I really like the elements of all the flashbacks and how those also added to the story of the original family, because there was a lot that we didn't know or see in TVD because it was more focused on those characters, and the originals were the antagonists, but we learned more about them kind of through the lens of the existing characters. That being said, Finn, I do wish that he had a different ending, perhaps actually finding a life for himself in the end. I don't know. I just think it could have been interesting to see what he would do after everything. I know that I think Jade, I think her name was Jade, no, I don't think it's Jade. I don't remember. The boxing chick that like taught Damon a little bit at one point and then also gets killed. When Finn dies, the one person I think that he turns, she dies. I think that Finn could have still had an opportunity to find a life for himself outside of his family, kind of like what Cole does and kind of like what Rebecca ends up doing. I mean, they all kind of scatter into their own different corners, and yet they're still family. They're not fully together at all times. That's not what it's all about anymore. It's about really living their lives. Same thing with Freya. I mean, she spent majority of her life chasing and trying to find her family once more, and then in the end she ends up finding someone that she can be with. I find it interesting that is the ending that they chose for Finn's character, because I think that there was an opportunity there to allow him to actually have a life outside of the box. That being said, he was also extremely troubled with, I think it was, I don't know if it would be PTSD or like, he was extremely terrified of becoming trapped once more. So I understand the route that they went, but I just think it would have been cool to see something else. That being said, that is all I have to say for this video. I had fun watching a little bit about Finn. I thought it was very cool in the originals. It was a lot of fun to see him come back and kind of take on a very different and perhaps larger role in the story than what he originally had in the originals, apart from, being the first original to die. And yeah, I really appreciate that. So that's all I have to say for the video. If you enjoyed, please let me know in the comments below. As always, if you like the video, please like the video. And if you have any suggestions for what I will watch in the future, let me know as well. Subscribe for more videos from me, and I will see you next time. Bye.